Welcome, Norse fans, to Norsin Around, part of the Grueling Truth Radio Network. As always, James Ernest and Alex Gray. Alex, what have the Norse been up to?
Great things, James. This was homecoming weekend, so lots of festivities, lots of fun things going on. We had 4 total basketball games within 3 days, 2 doubleheaders, one on Thursday, one on Saturday. We'll go with the men's. Their first game, they beat Milwaukee 54-52, the same team we did beat in the conference tournament finals last season. This will improve the Norse to 18-7 overall, 11-2 in the Horizon League. Drew McDonald recorded his 12th double-double of the season, 10th in the last 15 games with 16 points and 10 rebounds. Tyler Sharp added 12 points in his first start of the season. And I'll tell you what, Tyler Sharp has been electric so far. I mean, he has been absolutely electric. Levon Holland had 6 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds as well.
Yeah, it was an intense game. I was at that one, and it was very. We were quite concerned, especially in that first half when Milwaukee was not strong. But of course, Northern found their way to fight back into it and win the game, and just making the fans that were in town for homecoming quite proud. And of course, the actual homecoming game being on Saturday against Green Bay, that one still is on the close side, 86-80, probably closer than their first matchup that they had, because the first time they played this year was 77-65, and that was up at Green Bay. So definitely a lot closer game the second time around. Same with Milwaukee. Oh my gosh, at Milwaukee, 91-64. So those teams are improving and stepping up, which will make the tournament a challenge, but hopefully get the conference the credit it deserves for the Horizon tournament.
Yep, and they have 4 games left on the schedule. And in this Green Bay game, and I'll actually go over the Horizon League standings because they, of course, play a factor into where we're seated in the tournament. Tyler Sharp was the leading scorer against Green Bay, 19 points. That ties a career high, 6 attempts from the floor, 5 of 9 3-point attempts, and he had 2 back-to-back three-pointers with about 5-16 left to play in the game. Tyler Sharp and a layup by Levon Holland gave NKU a 77-71 lead, and they were able to hold it from there.
That's great to hear. I mean, just how they've been able to produce and get done, what they need to as part of the team. That's awesome.
So with those 2 wins, NKU is officially number 1 on the standings in the Horizon League, which if the season ended right now, we would have the number 1 seed in the tournament. Wright State is currently second, 1 game back, and obviously Friday night's game is NKU at Wright State. NKU met Wright State once already. They did lose that game in a close one, and that might decide who gets the 1 seed. UIC, however, is 2 games back, so they're definitely in the hunt. Oakland, and then Milwaukee, Youngstown, IUPUI, Green Bay, Cleveland State, Detroit, Mercy. With
that tiebreaker, I mean, that's huge. That currently Wright State has the tiebreaker against Northern, but with being able to play them again and tie it all up, then it'll just go to the overall record. So you're right. This Friday is going to be huge. It's going to be a really big challenge for Northern, but they need to step up and do what they have to.
And they're playing hot. Northern, that 5-game win streak. Wright State just came off losing a game. So NKU does have the upper hand. But, as you said, this is huge. This is the big one. They have to win this game.
So what do you think is going to be the big difference in this game versus the first game?
Well, this game will be tougher. As a side note, this game will be on ESPNU at 9 p.m. Eastern. It's on the road. Wright State has the home court advantage this time. That player name is eluding me, who I'll look back here in the previous game we had with Wright State. This was January 11th at home, 84-81 loss. Really, really close game that evening. And I was trying to remember one player that absolutely went off in that game that we definitely should keep an eye on. I'll look it up for y'all real quick. But I think holding him as I get the thing loaded up and, just playing harder defense, the defense can just step up a little bit more. And you got guys like, Tyler Sharp is electric. He is a motivator to that team. He really can pump that team up and get fired up when he needs to. Obviously, just working together as a team. Grant Benzinger, that's who it was. He led the team with 31 points in that game on January 11th. So Benzinger was who I was referring to. Keep an eye on him. They can hold him. I think the Norse can beat Wright State. They've proven they can beat anybody. So huge game coming up.
So that'll be a really neat one to see. And then, of course, we got the home game after that, which is really important, having at least one more at home, because you got the two final games on the road to end the in the season prior to the tournament. So fans definitely need to get their northern fix. Come out to the Youngstown State game on Monday, February 19th.
Senior night.
Senior night. So we don't have too many seniors, do we, now?
I don't think, I know Levon Holland is a senior. I'm trying to remember who else was. It was Holland. Look up the roster here. Let's see here. Jordan Garnett. Mm-hmm. He's a senior. Nick Ayers. He's a senior. Levon Holland. And that is it.
Okay, so we do have 3 seniors. So definitely come out and support those guys. They've been huge to the program. But on the bright side, just like last year, it's not an overwhelming amount of seniors. So we do have a lot of the guys coming back for their senior year. But, yeah, definitely LeBron and Tate.
McDonald.
McDonald's not a senior. Oh, yeah, coming back, yeah.
Yeah, he'll be a senior next year.
Yep. So definitely, good things to come in the future for the Norse. Any final thoughts, Alex, on the show tonight?
Well, quickly, the women's team is on a 3-game win streak. They beat Oakland and Detroit Mercy as well during homecoming week. They beat Oakland 66-59, Detroit 64-60. That was a pretty close game. Detroit only has 1 win on the season. They really, though, played a good game, but NKU was able to prevail. They got Wright State coming up Saturday, and then Youngstown, UIC, and then IUPUI. So the women's team is starting to pick it up a little bit, actually.
That's good to hear. I mean, it's going to build for the tournament this year, and then, of course, for the future of the program, because we're expecting big things out of them, and I know they're going to deliver in the next couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, as we said before, it's 11 of the players, I think, are, freshmen, sophomores. So, as I said before, I only believe this team is going to get better. Mind if I take a look at the Women's Horizon League standings real quick?
Sure, go for it.
All right. So, Green Bay leading the way, ranked 19th in the nation, currently 22-2. One of the only conference loss they had was to Northern Kentucky. IUPUI in second, 2 games back. They're at 18-6. And then Cleveland State, Wright State, Milwaukee, Youngstown State, Northern Kentucky, Oakland, Detroit, and UIC. The reason Detroit is ranked ahead of UIC, Detroit's 1-23 on the season, but they are 1-12 in conference. UIC is 7-17, but they're 0-13 in conference.
Okay. So one of those like tiebreaker scenarios.
Yeah.
Well, sounds great. Any final thoughts on the upcoming games?
Well, I really appreciate the crowds that have been coming out, and I encourage people to show up for both the men and the women. Seniors night's going to be important for the players that are especially seniors, obviously, and keep rooting for them as they head up to Motor City Madness because it's coming soon, folks.
Sounds great. So for James Ernest and Alex Gray, signing off for the Grueling Truth Radio Network and Norsin Around, like he said, fans keep getting out there supporting them, especially that Youngstown State game coming up. And to be quite honest with you, Wright State is not that far of a drive. It's about an hour away. So heading up there to Dayton, not a bad option for Friday night.
And plus, it's going to be on ESPNU.
Exactly. And everybody wants to get on TV, but if you can't make it up there, like Alex was saying, watch it on ESPNU and enjoy the